Hello, my name is Corbin Watkins. I'm a student at Texas Women's University, and I'm doing my speech for my speech class. It is a response speech to, well, it's a response speech, and I'm responding to an editorial on the New York Times. It is called Reining in Predatory Schools. Kind of a brief summary is how the author wants the Obama administration to press stricter laws on schools that give out loans to where it won't be so indebting to the students later in life, such as putting restrictions on how much interest, like it should not be higher than 8% of total earnings that they will be making outside of school, or like overall shouldn't exceed 20% of discretionary earnings. Just stuff like that. About this article that I found to argue against, it's not that I don't think this is an issue, because I do think it is. Being a college student, I know how stressful these loans and whatnot can be. But I believe the problem lies in their solution. They're proposing the solution that the debt will be solved with stricter laws, and I believe through argumentation, or my argument is supported a little bit, that the laws aren't in need of change. It's the amount of funding that needs changing. What I found upon research, found this on theatlantic.com, was a chart of the breakdown of where the government puts its money into education as it stands. It puts $3.6 billion into grants, 32 billion into tax benefits, 0.93 billion into work study, but over 107 billion into loans. So the government's not helping the loan situation. It would probably be a better idea to move away from this idea of just loaning out the money instead of just paying for the college for the students. Not to make it free, because that would devalue the education, but to make it cheaper, because there's no reason to put 25-year-olds $60,000 in debt when they're making $25,000 a year on their bachelor's degree. Upon looking at what laws are already in place, I saw that they're honestly, it's pretty straightforward. Making stricter ones aren't going to change much. There's rules on how money should be distributed, that there will be money available to undergrads. I just think there should be more money. With that in mind, I looked up to see what the government spent the most of its money on in a fiscal year. It spends $1.9 trillion on education, which isn't bad, but that's the third most. It puts the second most, 2.1 trillion into healthcare, which healthcare is important, and so I wouldn't say education is more important than healthcare. But then the one thing that it puts the most money into, which is almost $3 trillion a year, into pensions. Now, pensions are defined as a fixed sum paid regularly to a person or a thing. So and that's about as detailed as it got. It's just something that's a set amount that they have to pay, and I think that's kind of sketchy. But also, most needs in our country, I don't feel overpower education. I believe to increase our country as a whole, we should further education, and part of that is to not make it so unattainable by price. My conclusion basically is, I do not disagree that this issue is a problem. I just disagree with their way of solving it. My solution is, instead of increasing and making the law stricter, is to reduce the debt. We should pay more money into the students that we don't expect them to pay back. Because if they're not trying to pay back these loans, they can be earning money, taxes will be going in, and it will be paying for the next generation down already. It's kind of a perpetual cycle, and I think it would work. Thank you for listening.